guys, welcome back to All Things Employment with Noks. My name is Noks. So we're going to be finishing up the second section of your CV. So that's where we're going to be covering education and employment. Okay, first things first, with your education, one thing that I've picked up with most people is once they've got their degrees and masters and all these certificates, they tend to forget. I don't know if they forget or they think it's not relevant to actually put their matric information. So I always prefer to start with the most recent, going all the way down to matric. Okay, but you can do it anyhow as long as all the information is there. It's very detailed. That's what matters. So let's say you matriculated in 2007, you write matric 2007 and you write the name of the school or the institution where you matriculated, and then you start listing all your qualifications. So the name of the institution is very important, the year that you completed, and the name of the qualification. And I know most people will do abbreviations, but you need to be as detailed. Remember, someone who's looking at your CV is not always someone within your field. So whoever happens to see your CV or go through your CV must fully understand exactly what qualification you have. So for an example, I can't just say BA Psych. I mean, what is that? You need to say BA Psychology. I know other people as well, they do write in brackets what they majored in. And that's very important because you know some qualifications, you're doing communication, but maybe you are majoring in something else and you need to highlight that. So it's very important, guys. All the certificates that you have actually in your bag, you have to put them, guys. The name of the institution, the year you completed, and the name of the qualification. Why is it important that you put the year? So should everything go well, they invite you for an interview, when they list down or when they do checks, if you really have the qualifications, hence you cannot lie and make up qualifications. It's there and it's very clear and they know this year, so it's easy for the institution to actually confirm if it was awarded to you in that year and it's correct, the name of the qualification that you say you do have. Another thing, guys, the ones that you are currently doing, do write as currently, and then those that you've completed, do highlight completed. I always say those that have dropped out or they've changed qualifications, there's really no need to actually put it down on your CV. Number one, you're making your CV longer and you just don't want to write something that you have not completed. It's either you have completed or you are currently doing it. Okay, great. And then now we're going to cover work employment. Very important. I'm sure you've got your pen and you are taking notes because you have to write it correctly. Otherwise, you have a chance of not being shortlisted or someone not even looking at your CV any further. So if you are watching, don't forget, guys, do subscribe and ring a bell so that whenever there's a video, you get a notification. You can put a thumbs up as well. You can drop your comment as well, whether it's a question or you just want to explain further or you want to ask anything, make sure you are using that. Okay, so work experience or employment history, whatever you want to use, but it must be clear. First things first, guys, you need to write the company. So that's the company you worked for. You need to write position. So if you had 3 positions, let's say you were maybe promoted, you need to highlight that and it needs to be clear. And another thing, duration. One mistake most people make is with duration, they tend to write years from 2005 to 2007, like when exactly in 2005. So you need to say February. It's fine if you don't remember the dates, but the month you have to know. So from May 2005 to February 2007, and then you need to list the responsibilities. Please do not put them in a paragraph. The reason why I'm saying that is because I know when we're going through CVs, we are skimming. And the bullet points, they're very easy. They straight to the point. And the fact that it's in points, it's easy to actually go through them. So if your responsibilities are in a paragraph, make sure you're breaking them down into bullet points and they look nice. Okay, how do you structure your responsibilities? You start with the most relevant to your position, listing down to the least relevant to your position. We all know that when we get employed, they say this is what you're going to do. As time goes, you start doing more than what is on your contracts, and that's fine, but put everything. I always say everything. So if you are the guy opening the office in the morning, you need to put it. You're opening the office in the morning. If you're the guy looking, you're the guy that does that. If you order stationery, even though it's not what you are supposed to do, the fact that you are doing it, it is your responsibility, and you are owning it, and you are not making it up, but it's what you're actually doing. So very important. Another thing, guys, reasons for leaving. And with this one, so it's a topic for another day, but you have to put why you moved from one job to the next. If it was a contract, do say contract ended or contract completed. If it was a learnership, do write why you moved. If you were looking for growth, do write you were looking for growth, but it needs to be clear. And if you were promoted in one company, you write a company and you say from this time to this time I was then promoted to this, and this time to this time I was promoted to this. Every time you get promoted, guys, responsibilities, it's either they change, not completely, but you do carry some of the responsibilities, but obviously added. So that needs to be highlighted as well. And then another thing that would also make your CV stand out is that if you do have an accomplishment or in whatever position that you've done, write them down. But with accomplishment, write in each company. So don't just do accomplishment throughout your career, because if you've been working for 15 years, you could write something not relevant to what you are doing or the position that you're actually applying for. So after you've done your responsibilities, you can write accomplishment and you list 1, 2, 3 things. If there is none, you feel there is none. But I'm sure we all understand what needs to be put down as an accomplishment. Did you save the company time? Did you save the company money? Did you make it easy? Did the company gain? Things like that. So you can't just say, well, I feel like I've accomplished 1, 2, 3, but it's things that at any point when they do references, the person doing a reference can actually go back and say, oh yeah, by the way, Noks did 1, 2, 3 and assisted with the company in 1, 2, 3 and all these things, and it's very clear. I hope from now on you guys are going to go back, go write your CV properly, so you can actually get yourself an interview, and who knows, maybe you get an appointment.